Good evening, and welcome to Proof of the Paranormal, the show that looks into the mysterious, the unexplained, and the otherworldly. I'm Sean Wagner, your guide through the latest and strangest in all things paranormal. From ghostly encounters to UFO sightings, ancient mysteries to modern day miracles, we'll explore the stories that challenge our understanding of the natural world and captivate our imagination. We'll have some recent paranormal and UFO pictures and videos from around the internet, and we'll tell you how we think they were done, or myself, tonight. Check out the upper left corner of the screen for an app and website I created. It has all kinds of handy links for all aspects of the paranormal, including UFO, alien, Bigfoot, and the paranormal. All links to the videos will be in the description down below. All that and more on Proof of the Paranormal. And don't forget to help us out by liking, giving us a thumbs up, subscribing, and sharing. Thank you. Let's get started. Well, tonight it's just me and my buddy Larry. I keep forgetting to introduce him, but he's always a co-host on the show. Also, we have a new episode of Jack's Scary Show. Came out last Tuesday. One comes out every Tuesday as well. This one's Why the Faces of Bigfoot Aren't the Same. Check it out. You'll be glad you did. And all right, it's that time of the episode. Ladies and gentlemen, grab your drinks. Alcoholic or not, doesn't matter. Water, coffee, whatever. To a good show, and we're dangerously close to the weekend. Cheers. All right. Okay. And for the first time on this show, we have breaking news. Yes, breaking news on this little show. The government has an idea how many different races there are of Bigfoot, and apparently, a member of the Bigfoot community was talking to a member of Congress during a hearing. So let's see what goes on. Oh, so just be a moment for me to get down to where I have that link posted. Here we go.
Do you have or can you comment on whatever species um, have been piloting these craft? How are they large? Are they multiple species? Are they like what is their size and how many are usually on a craft?
They're typically the multiple species. People are familiar with the Greys, the Nordics. People are talking about reptilians and insectoids. It's not that they're reptilian or insectoid, it's that they resemble to the recipient of reptile or an insect type humanoid, because they have a head and four limbs and torso. So,
Large, small,
human size, human scale.
and are there how many are crewed?
The Greys I'm familiar with from investigating the crash at Corona, which is misnamed the crash at Roswell. It's not the crash at Roswell, it's the crash at Corona in Mexico. Those were Greys, those were 4 foot tall. And the Nordics are typically human size, probably, I've heard 5-6 feet tall. The same with the people who mislabel reptilian and insectoid, they're roughly that height too. I haven't heard anything about anything 7 or 8.
All right. I didn't catch that video on time to make the last show. I actually saw it on my YouTube feed just 4 or 5 days ago. And I almost forgot, but I managed to go back and figure out which video it was, thank God. But the most important question is, why haven't we heard more about this? This should have been, in theory, big news, I would think, all over the news headlines. At least News Nation covers some stuff, UFO related. I don't know. That's an interesting question. Post your thoughts in comments. What you think? Why haven't we heard more about this? All right. In our first video, we have a possible entity on the front porch of a house, and this one comes from a TikTok account.
Oh my gosh! So what is that?
What the hell?
Hey, what is that? Look, it's just moving.
What am I looking?
Okay, that is quite interesting. We'll play it again. I think it's probably done by computer. It's too long and um, too easily captured to be legit.
Oh my gosh! So what is that?
What the hell?
Hey, what is that? Look, it's just moving.
What am I looking?
Yeah, it doesn't look like some kind of material that someone has on a kite string, that's for sure. So I think it's probably computer done. All right. We have next. We have our first UFO video. We have a possible UFO flying overhead in Northridge, California. All right. I'm not sure exactly what that is. Probably done by some kind of computer with the lights flashing like that, strobing, um, or even drones close together with bright lights sometimes could produce some kind of effect like that as well. All right. Next, we have our first Bigfoot video. We have a possible Bigfoot crosses the Cass River in Michigan. This comes from Rocky Mountain Sasquatch. Well, I've talked about my thoughts on them before. Take everything big time with a grain of salt. They will show this video though at various speeds to help you see everything better. So let's check it out.
Cross.
I remember.
Cross.
I remember.
Cross.
I remember. I remember.
My thoughts on that one are well, it's obviously way too convenient. Person has a camera. The Bigfoot's there for quite a while. It just perfect, perfect to be shot right in the middle of the camera. Couldn't be any better. Which always makes me a little suspicious. It's there. It's I've gone in the woods trying to find possible evidence and everything myself. It just is not exactly how that works. Maybe the miracle did happen. They really did luck out, but I think it's someone in a suit. All right, let's go on to the next one. Uh, this is going to be a possible entity that moves around in a car. It is small and kind of hard to see. I'll probably have to play it a few times, but take a look between right at the windshield at the front uh, two seats to the car. Okay, I think it's reversed driving side versus the United States, like the United Kingdom. We're looking at the driver's side, I believe, which was to our left. And you can see something moving around there. I'm not sure what it is. My guess is some kind of computer oriented stuff, or they put something that they have online somehow. They could have caught video as well. Also, if you could please help us out, please give us a like or subscribe and thumbs up and share the video for this show. That would be great. We greatly appreciate. Thank you. All right. And also, don't forget, we had a breaking news segment. So go back to the beginning if you're watching us live and you missed the beginning. Go back to the very beginning. There is a breaking news segment about um, a congressman having a talk with a UFO person, and they talk about the types of aliens. Quite interesting. For our last video, we have a possible UFO sighting over the Dominican Republic.
Got a UFO on our hands. Not a kite, not an airplane. Just some black piece of shit just sitting there in the sky with some, it's changing the.
All right. I like how he puts his words. He's not really overly excited, just kind of saying exactly what he thinks it is. I like that though. But we'll play it one more time. You can get a better thought, see what you think it might be.
Got a UFO on our hands. Not a kite, not an airplane. Just some black piece of shit just sitting there in the sky with some, it's changing the.
All right, the UFO also doesn't seem to move. It could be something that's where you can use your camera to make it look close or further away, and therefore make it look a lot smaller. And it could be simply attached to a line. No matter what, it doesn't appear to really move when you get a close look at it. All right, that concludes our regular videos. We do have a special segment as always tonight. Tonight it's UFO spotted in Antarctica. It's a good one, as always.
McMurdo Station, Antarctica. Located on the southern peninsula of Ross Island, this is the largest research station on the continent. It was opened by the U.S. government in 1956 and houses up to as many as 1,200 residents at a time. In January of 2015, a U.S. Navy flight engineer who served with the Antarctic Development Squadron at McMurdo for 14 years, came forward to investigative reporter Linda Moulton Howe with bizarre accounts of his time in Antarctica.
In January 2015, I got an email from a retired naval flight engineer. He's asked me to call him only Brian in the world public, and this is what he told me. From about 1983 to when he retired from the Navy in 1997. He was in all kinds of what they call Antarctic Squadron expedition missions that included rescuing people in and out of various places. In all these trips, nothing of a high strangeness had occurred, and then all of a sudden it was one thing after another. During a squadron mission in the Transantarctic Mountains, the whole crew saw a whole bunch of silver darting objects, and they are round. And he says they're doing the strangest thing. They're going like to this peak in a group, to this peak in a group, to this peak in a group, and then they'd all take off. And not only did this happen once, it happened over and over.
According to the informant, this was just one of many strange mysteries on the continent that he witnessed during his time there.
They get an assignment not long after. There's a medical emergency. They are now under the gun, the clock is ticking, and a decision was made. They're going through the no-fly zone because it's a medical emergency. And what do they see? In the ice, like a huge entrance to a cave, but slanted going down. And he said, I think it was at least, Linda, 200 feet in diameter, a big hole in the ice. And he said, our instruments are not operating. We were losing electricity. We had magnetic anomalies. And we concluded there's something about this hole that is now causing these problems. They do their medical recovery, and the next thing they know, they're all being chewed out by men in suits that are not from McMurdo. They appear to be from Washington, D.C., and as he said, they told us that we are never, ever to fly over that hole, and we are never to discuss it again. What is that about? And does that have anything to do with all these other pieces that keep emerging, that there might be something archaeological in Antarctica?
According to ancient astronaut theorists, this was not the first time a massive hole has been spotted in the ice of Antarctica. Famous polar explorer Admiral Richard Byrd allegedly reported seeing a massive entrance to an underground world during his 1947 expedition to the South Pole.
Admiral Byrd made a lot of unusual statements, allegedly talking about a large opening at the South Pole that went deep inside the Earth, ice-free, and was inhabited by various sorts of aliens. And when Byrd got back to the United States, he was brought back to Washington, where he was questioned very heavily about his statements. And allegedly, he was told to stop talking about this. You have to wonder, is the South Pole some kind of extraterrestrial entry zone? Some kind of portal that's so important that it has to be controlled by the military?
All right. It is interesting too, in Antarctica in particular, you can only go to the coast. You're not allowed to go inland at all. Um, and apparently, Bird found some stuff. I ran across a show where he found some stuff that was quite interesting that he pointed out and wouldn't appear to go there. And one story even has he's in a plane, he gets pulled down into some kind of other land area that actually has a very warm climate. Uh, and people aren't speaking German. It's an interesting story. I don't know the whole details, unfortunately, but it's like I said, it's a good story. Not sure the truth, but it's interesting no matter what. How you are not allowed to visit much of Antarctica, even if you want to. Well, I want to thank everyone. Time has flown by. Thank you for watching this episode of Paranormal Proof. We look forward to having an episode ready very soon, probably next Thursday again, but we'll see. Be sure to like or give a thumbs up and subscribe to everything we do here at CPI-ParaWorld. And if you like this show, please help us out. We greatly appreciate it. Not many people see our show as well. Also, don't forget in the upper left, I have a QR code for an app and a website I created. Check it out. It is good. No one goes there, but it is good. Trust me. I'm not bullshitting there. And that's about it. So long. Have a good night and have a good weekend. See you next time.